Hello there, this is RvNovae, and I just wanted to really quickly show you this program I've been working on over the last couple of months. I haven't really done much in the last weeks, but doesn't really matter. It's called Tracklister. You might have seen it before. I've put it on my Twitter and everything because I was really excited about it, even though it's quite straightforward. Okay, what does it do? It creates track lists. Now, how does it do that? It takes export the files from Rekordbox, Traktor, Serato, and Virtual DJ. Okay, so I just want to show you around the program real quick, show you what it can do, show you what it can't do. And yep, there we go. Here is Tracklister. Now, the first thing you obviously need is one of these file types. So how do you get one? You go into your favorite DJ program, for example, Rekordbox is mine. You go in a history file or a playlist. History file is basically a playlist, so it doesn't really matter. Go in there, export the playlist to a file, then you just extract it to, on your desktop or something. You just call it test or whatever you want to call it. And once the export has been complete, you can either close it or you can open the file. Now, this is the cool thing. Yes, you can just open the file and it'll be in there once you have assigned it. Now first, let's start with a blank one. Here it is. Not much here. You can't really do much yet. It's all very blank, very boring. So you take your test file. You can also drag it in there. If you haven't already opened it like that, like I've shown you before, you can do it like this. Here you have your track list. First thing you'll notice, you can just copy it out and paste it somewhere. You also have this nice copy button up here, and you just go into your favorite text editor or YouTube or something. You just put it in there and paste it. There you go. There's your track list. Next thing you'll notice, you have these little carrots here. Pretty straightforward. It opens a context menu and you can do a couple things. First one, you can delete. Very straightforward. The only nice thing to notice, it'll keep the iteration of the numbers here, just as you might expect. Next thing you can do, you can set things to promo. Let me just reset the settings here. I always forget doing that. Very simple. What does it do? We click on it and it changes it to unknown artist, unknown title. We'll get into this a little later once we look into the settings. Really straightforward. Next thing you can do is you can edit, I don't know, future shocks. Yeah, there you go. Edit, very straightforward. You can move up and down. You can insert one above or one below, as you might expect from something like Excel or, I don't know. If you fucked up and you just want to reset, you just drag in the thing again, and there you go. Next thing you can do, you can also click this little plus button, and it'll add a track to the very end of your track list. There you go. Now let's go through the other functions. You have this little help button right here. This has got a file guide and a settings guide. So if you don't want to watch this video for some reason, I can't blame you really. Why would you want to do that? It's pretty boring. You can just have a look at this and it'll explain pretty much everything I'm going to explain to you in the next couple minutes. So the file guide, this is really important. I'm going to explain this right here. So we have support for 4 different programs: Rekordbox, Traktor, Serato, and Virtual DJ. Now the reason I have this file guide in here is because you can actually export different types from one program. For example, Rekordbox can export as a text for Kuvo and an M3U8 file, which is the one I'm actually using because the Kuvo one is pretty much useless. So, just keep in mind that you export the right type of file to use this program. So for Rekordbox it's M3U8, for Traktor it's .nml, for Serato it's CSV, and for Virtual DJ it's M3U. Keep in mind this looks really similar. So, just be careful when you do that. Okay, the settings guide. I will go through the settings with you together so we can have a look at this. All right, here we go. Please refer to the help menu. Yes, it's going to be your best friend. Reset. It's going to reset the settings. If you put in some weird stuff and you just want to have a blank one, you just do that. Promo syntax. Maybe you don't like unknown artist, unknown title. Maybe you like ID like many people do, but I'm not one of them. put it in there, and you select something. Set to promo is going to be ID instead of unknown artist, unknown title. Obviously, you can put in whatever you like. Very much variable. Next one, the ignore list. You always have these checkboxes for these, so you can keep on the text and just turn it on and off if you would like. So say for the ignore list, say you have you using jingles or samples or something like that. Say you put in, or you always put in the jingle into the artist or wherever you want to put it really, and just gonna call it I don't know. You have a jingle for exclusive track, and as long as you have some form of some way of identifying what a jingle is. So, for example, if it has jingle in the title, or somewhere, it doesn't need to be in a separate column. As long as it's in the artist, as long as it's in the column artist or title, Tracklist is gonna find it. So, you just put in something. For example, jingle is the one that identifies mine in this case. Put it in there and boom, it is gone. It's going to ignore the whole track and you won't have any gaps in your list. Next thing you want to do is omit list. Yeah, similar idea, but different way it works. So you have something like original mix, for example. You don't want that. You put it in there. You saw another thing there, the master thing. You don't want that. So what this does, similarly to the ignore list, it's gonna omit these things, but it won't omit the whole track. It's just gonna omit the part that you put in here. Also be careful, no comma separation here, because otherwise you would be saying that there's this there has to be a space there, which there doesn't have to be. So there you go, and now these are gone from these two tracks. By the way, this is destructive, so if you want to go back to the beginning, you'd have to drag in the file again, and there you go. Syntax fixer, favorite of mine. Maybe you're working for a radio station, maybe not working, just playing for them. Say, oop, what was that? Wow, never seen that before. So yeah, don't drag in there, I guess. So what can you do? For example, if you have something like this in a title and you don't like that, like I wouldn't, you put on the syntax fixer, you put on the featuring, and this is how I like to spell it. Boom, and it's gone. Same with all the other lines, of course. This is also the same for versus and. Same idea. It works exactly the same way. And actually, if you do check out the help, you will find that which tags it does actually filter. For example, for featuring it's these, for verses it's these three, and for and it's these. If you want to have more edit, just send me an email and I'll have a look into it. And last but not least, fix featured artists. This is probably my favorite. I've always wanted to do that, to be honest. So if you have someone, there's these people who do something like this, who do this. I don't know why people do this, but especially stores do it. And, it's not pretty. It doesn't make sense because it's an artist. It should be in the artist column. So if you can't be asked to fix these yourself, there you go. Tracklister can do it for you. Just keep in mind, it's going to extract everything after the featuring. So if there's something else in there, it's going to put it here as well. So always, always check your track lists, please. I take no responsibility for anything. Especially with all these features here, like everything that isn't the promo syntax. Be a little careful, check your track lists. There might always be some weird corner cases that I haven't, checked. So just send me an email if you find one. And send me a test file as well, and we can figure it out. Very straightforward. You can find the GitHub repository there, my name. There you go. That's pretty much it. Now, the biggest limitation the program has, which I have to tell you about, because it affects me especially. I use Beatport Link, and you might have heard about it. And the problem with it is At the time of making this video, they don't put the tracks you played from Beatport Link into your histories. And you also can't put them into playlists. And if they're not in the history file, and they're not in a playlist file where you can export it, you can't put them into Tracklister. So it's pretty much useless if you're using Beatport Link. Now, I really hope they're going to fix this soon. Well, I guess add the feature, which shouldn't even be a feature. It's a fucking basic thing. So yeah, if you want to see that as well, just maybe bug them on the forum. I'm already trying to do that, but let's hope they will fix that soon. Okay, so let me just show you the support for all the other types of files. So that was the record box file. I've got another one here, so you can scroll as well, obviously. You've got virtual DJ, which is an M3U file, very similar. Keep that in mind. What is this? An error. Now, this is not a problem with my program. This is a problem with people who don't tag their files properly. Let me show you what the problem here is. For example, this is what the M3U file looks like from Virtual DJ. And you can see I'm reading these lines right here where it has the nice like HTML style artist, title. And it's a very, very easy to read this out in the program. Now, when you look here, this is also one of these lines, and it does not have these tags, which means someone did not tag their files. So please, tag your tracks. I mean, you should do that anyway, so why not do it in order to use this program? If it forces you to do it, I think that's a good thing. Yeah, so keep that in mind. It's going to throw like an obvious error thing, so, I'm trying to save you from fucking this up. By the way, if you very basic stuff, if you put in like a text file, it's just gonna be like unsupported file type. Or if you export something like I think Tractor or Serato can extract or can export M3U files as well, and those don't work because they're not the same as the virtual DJ M3U files. It's also gonna throw an error message. I hope for most cases it really should. Okay, now you can always set the program up to open the files. I don't know what else you might want to use to open them. Maybe Recordbox or whatever. So you can also assign it to open it with it, and it will. Now, if you want to add it, very simple, very straightforward. You go and open with, and you select Tracklister. If you don't know where it is, because it's a little bit hidden, it is right here in your users, your username, app data, local programs, and that's where it's going to be. Tracklister, here it is. There's also your uninstaller and the executable. Now, if you do want to uninstall it, I won't blame you. This program is humongous for what it does. It is 160 megabytes. And I am extremely sorry about that, but I don't know how to fix it. If you know, please let me know. Because I'm using Electron with this, and I just have this nice package thing, and it just does it, and it just works. And these days you have these, 3 terabyte drives anyway, so, who cares really? Yeah, that's most of it. That's really the most important things. If you want to get this, it is free on my GitHub. The link's going to be down below. You also have a little bit of documentation here. If you want to build it yourself using the whole Electron thing, you can do that. If you just want to, install it, just click on here. You get the downloader, the installer. It just installs it itself and just opens up. And I've shown you where you can find it, so that's not going to be a problem. Now the macOS version coming soon. I don't use macOS really. But if you do and you want to use this program, send me an email and I'll export one for you. It's really easy for me to do. I just have to get my MacBook actually. I just have to open it up, download the files, and just export it. But I just can't be asked if no one's using this anyway. So please send me an email if you want to use this on macOS or on Linux even, and I'll do that for you. Or maybe you could even export one yourself if you wanted to. If you know how to, you can do that. No problem. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy using the program, and if you want to check it out, it's gonna be in the description below. Yeah, and I just wish you a nice evening. Bye bye.